This is the piece of warrior video for week 3. It was pretty good. I believe we had Monday off. You know, meditation became a whole lot easier for me on week 3, towards the end. Friday, actually. If I start off with that, I would sit down, I'm sitting with my hand, my hands get uncomfortable, and since I have ADHD and ADD, it doesn't help, so I'm getting all uncomfortable, my neck hurts, my back's hurting. I do that a lot, like this motion. And so, eventually Mr. Squires comes up to me and says, he says, how about you switch positions, to flip it, like from this to this. So, I did that, and we did a sit. I remember the next set we had was the best I've ever had, I finally wasn't moving, my breathing was controlled, I was focusing on my posture and nothing else. And that might be the fastest 25 minutes of my life. And the other ones were terrible because I was just sitting there, I was slouching because I just couldn't get comfortable, and and when I was able to hold that space, it really helped me out, so that was really good. The dojo was okay. We were just preparing for our final, kind of, not really, but we were still learning some new stuff. We were learning some with the void. We were learning about the void. We listened to a thing on Jill Bolte Taylor. I thought that was really interesting that, she had like a stroke, and she was such a left brain person who studied the brain. And all of a sudden she's in this basically whole other realm, which is crazy to think about, because you go from seeing things this way as reality, and now all of a sudden she sees it a totally different way as a scientist, I think it was a professor or a scientist at Harvard. That's crazy. So I thought that was really interesting, and it made me really wonder if I meditate the right way and if I meditate enough, could I get to my right brain and truly experience something similar to her? And I don't really know that she understood the vastness of it until after. She called it La La Land, which is obviously not what it was. It's just really another state of reality, which kind of. And then we also had a guided meditation with Reggie Ray. I think it was a 10 points practice, I remember. And I remember thinking through the 3 points, I'm like, this is going to take forever. But then we got to the 6th point. I think we got to the 4th point. I don't remember what happened from the 4th to the 9th point. I can't tell you what happened. I was just in a state of kind of consciousness, but also unconsciousness, that the area between being asleep and being awake. So that was good. The 10 points practice helped some. It was long, but it was good, for sure. But, Mr. Stevens said something at the dojo that really kind of hit me. He said, what was he said? He said that, really think about how strong that you can be, that you can affect someone's life with just a couple words. And he talked about this story about how he was at a festival where people come up to each other and just say something, and then they're met each other, and he went up to somebody and he said, he's like, you're worth it, you're enough. And that woman just broke down in tears and cried. And to be that strong, to be able to affect somebody with just those words, it's crazy. And Mr. Stevens I think would be a really good role model. Like, he's kind of a role model of mine now, because it seems that he's extremely happy in his life. He seems very affectionate. He loves what he does, and if I can be that happy at some point in my life, I think that'd be amazing. Because I think he might be the happiest man in the world. Because it's not like he's super rich, but he's just so enriched in his mind, which is crazy. And it really is something to think about, something I thought about throughout week 3, and that was kind of my focus. But that was the week 3 Peaceful Warrior. I guess at the very end we did some yoga, not a lot. We did some other forms of chaturanga, which is hard. Well, I think that's what it was. I really like Shavasana though, because it really gives you a chance to relax when you're laying at the end of, after all that, the physical wear and tear of the yoga. Really, honestly, it can be physically hard to keep your breath. But at the end, you really get to relax and just focus on your breath, and it really takes you to another place. But yeah, that was Pizza Warrior, week 3.